Yep, let's do it. Yep. Okay, guys, 2 minutes practice left. Okay, guys, 5 minute qualifier. No, Wama didn't set a time.
Okay, we qualified just outside the top three, but we can make that up in the race. Good effort.
Okay, guys, starting line for tonight. On pole we got Evil. Second, Rocket Boomer. Third is Rebel. Fourth is Shadow. Fifth is Flat Out. Sixth is Chunky Beef. Seventh will be Web. 8 is Silver Bullet. 9 Run It Back. 10 will be Rob Disco. 11th on the starting grid is Rockabilly. 12 is I'm Boosted. 13 Crispy the Rookie. Number 14 Sunday Cup. Remy won't be racing but will be hosting, so you get your points tonight, guys. I'm still having the feed on. I will try to give a little bit of comment. 14 start. I'm doing a broadcast, but no commentary because I want to be in the race with you guys, so we can together with Evil I can get you up to speed. 14th in the starting line will be Warma, and Gunter is the host, but he won't be here, so he's gonna start off soon. Okay, remember guys, no pitting allowed. We got 5 cautions for the whole race. We're gonna split them in. We're gonna use 3 cautions until lap 35. So when the leader hits 35, the other 2 cautions will become available for the second half of the race up till lap 64, because the last 5 laps are always green till the end. Yes, it's the LMS Texas 150. Okay. Remember guys, we got 2 pace laps. The first start will be double file and every restart will be single file. If you spin out during a caution, you don't get your place back, but you fall in line wherever you're in. Okay? Okay, Gunter, if you're ready, just start us up. I will type in a message. Let me see. Yep, here we go. I'm gonna What's wrong, Silver? No, it's Silver. Close in, guys, at the back. Close in. A half to a car length, guys. And we're off for the late models Texas 150. Yep, reset. No, no, not yet, not yet. Oh, we got, yep, 1 of 3. We got 2 more bananas left until lap 35. Okay. Second restart of the race, guys. And the caution is called, guys. Caution is called. Okay, guys. Yep. A car to half a car lane, guys. Just close it up. Okay. The mic is junky. Oh, they're running 3 wides. Oh no, and that's a caution. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. Okay, guys. That is the third and last caution for the first half of the race. Single file restart. Everybody get in line. Gonna drop back to the last place. It's WGP Rocket. We're not there yet. No, you're not good. You're not good. Yeah. One more time, guys. Rocket Boomer needs to catch up. Okay, guys. You're all here. Last restart. It's gonna be green until lap 35. After the leader hits lap 35, 2 more bananas will become available. Okay, we're on board with Crispy. This is first race, his debut on the Sunday Cup League. His first race on the late models. Yep. Yep. Sometimes you're better off with two. Hook up with your enemy until F5. A frenemy until F5. Ooh, Evil's got a little off that. Yep. Get a train going, guys. Don't worry, Crispy. Well, flat out and run it back, working together. I'm boosted with Rebel, Silver and Wama. Nice 4-car train. And then we got a top 7 in line.
Hey,
Hey, buddy.
how's it going, bud?
Well, I'm just watching. I can't do commentary like you guys, but they were running great, man. It,
Yeah,
they're doing okay. So
said unfortunately I had a work thing to take care of, but so I missed probably the first 16, 17 laps of this. But from what I've seen, everything's doing really, really well out
yep,
there.
yep,
Doing a pretty good job keeping things straight. Good racing, good hard racing.
yep.
A few mildly over aggressive moves from what I'm seeing, but yeah, these guys want to win. They are
Oh,
aggressive
yep,
as hell, and
definitely.
there's nothing wrong with that. Ooh, Boomer catches the apron and takes quite a few cars with him. That's going to be a caution. They do have them
Yep.
back now.
Oh, yep.
Oof. Guys just trying to get what they can. That is a caution, however. You know, with the way the servers have been going and the way that things have been lagging out, Boomer's lucky he didn't get lagged into the track there. But
Well,
good racing so far.
oh, yep. It was definitely getting difficulties to get a lobby up, but hey, we're running. The guys are running for points, so I think they were happy.
Oh yeah. As
Yep.
of right now, you're running order, and they will not be good to go this time, so they're going to have to go
No.
around again. As of right now, your running order is Chunky Beef in first, followed by Evil OGR Gordon. Rob Disco having a great race up there in third. Webloom in fourth. Silver Bullet rounding out the top five, and you know he's itching for redemption after last week in Indianapolis. I'm Boosted, Wanma, Rockabilly, Shadow, and Run It Back are 6th through 10th. Rabilas Crispy making his debut in the SCL and the LMS series tonight. Having a pretty good run here, just kind of holding on to the car, learning what he can. And, you know, that's what it's all about, man. That's what this whole series is about. You got flat out riding shotgun on the field. Like I said, from the little bit I've seen, it's been pretty good racing. Big improvements from you know what we saw 2 weeks ago when we were here. I felt confident giving them a little less leeway with the cautions, and they've been doing a pretty good job of not abusing them. Used up the first three, but that's
Well,
you know, after that you saw them, they cleaned
yep.
right up, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. When guys know there are cautions available, they will be running a little bit harder. And as soon as green until the next half or the last half, you see them driving more cautious to get track position.
Exactly, because it does become, even at a track like Texas, it becomes a very lonely race very quickly if you're
Yep,
running out there by
yep.
yourself. About all you can do is sit there with your thoughts and put down hot laps for a while, but they're all back together here, flat out, riding in the back. He was having a little bit of lag issues. He's taking some steps to fix that, so should clear that stuff up. I'm just riding along at the back of the field here, but
Yep, me too. Just
great
look.
racing all the way through. Oh, little contact.
Oh,
That
yep,
will
that
be
will be the
the
last caution
the
in the
last
second
caution.
half. I'm gonna jump back. We'll let them know that we're green till the end.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, guys. That was the last caution of the race. It will be green for the rest of the race. Nope. Come on, guys. No. You're not getting your positions back. Fall in line where you get. Call it off. Call it off. Call it off. Okay. No, no, no. We're going one more time. We're going one more time. Okay, the mic is yours, Chunky. Yep, we're back.
And we're back to racing. A little bit of confusion there, but again, this is the rookie league, so guys are still learning the rules and procedures, get them all going where they need to go, and fire them away. So Remy, as far as what you've seen so far, what would you say to an incoming driver into this league, into particularly the oval racing? What's the biggest thing you should work on, that you should look out for coming into these? What's if you had one item to focus on coming into one of these rookie races, your very first time with the league, like Crispy is right now, what's that first piece of advice you give?
The first piece of advice for a rookie to come in a series is just practice qualifying. Because you have to, especially if you're coming halfway through a season, you have to qualify in. And and there's a spinner in the grass. Yep. But just practice qualifying in, and once you're in a professional spot, just take the track time and the seat time. Just learn the track. Learn to run the car high if necessary. Run a low line. And try to see what's the fastest line. And if you're in a team, or if you got some buddies you work with, also practice driving in the draft, because that's what some guys, they will practice all by themselves, and I think they got a good car. Even with the cars you can adjust, like tire pressures and so. In this series you can, but in the other series you can. And sometimes the car feels great when you're running by yourself, but as soon as you hit the draft or get a dirty air, the car will handle so much differently. So I would say practice qualifying in first. Once you got a professional, just do the testing on the track to know the tracks. That's how I've been doing it, especially when coming back to the league with this setup on the project cars. And especially on the road courses, testing. That's all what it takes. Track time and seat time. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I really do have to agree with you, 100% there. Your first step should be, just practice that at-large qualifying, because that's going to be the first step. Like Carlin says, there's a process to getting into the bigger races, right? First you're bottom of the barrel for the bump qualifying, and you get as you practice that, you get better and better and better, and then all of a sudden you're top of the bump qualifying, you get into the race, and it's a whole different world, running with these top guys. And then you start, working your way up through there. You're qualifying better. You're getting the track position better, and then you learn your racecraft, right? And then all of a sudden, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons later, sometimes not even that. You're fighting for a championship, and that was the biggest thing when I got in the league was just practice, get
Yep.
good at the bump qualifying, and go from there.
Yeah.
The only other thing I would add is if you got a question, don't be afraid to ask it.
No.
You know what I mean? I know you're more than happy to work with these new guys coming in. I know, I'm always willing to give guys a hand, get them up to that level, because it really is, it's a driver's series. We run the spec cars, and a lot of it really does, there are adjustments you can make to the tires, and there isn't a man jack in this league that'll give you exactly what he's running unless you're on a team with him. But
Yep. No, but you give
you
can give him some pointers, like try to play with the tire pressures. You don't give him, once you got pressures that suit you or settings that suit you, you try to find some guys with the same driving styles. You can say, try that steering sensitivity or the speed sensitivity. You can try it. Make up a practice lobby, put in some different pressures, play around with your tire pressures, especially on the ovals, because we run 3 different ovals here, and every track is different on the tires. As you see now, the right side tires are almost yellow to red by some drivers, and the inside are still green, so they are up the right temperature. You have to play along with it, but that's something you can go in once you're a little bit familiar with the cars and the tracks and the settings. Especially when if you're new, if you're a rookie, just like you said, don't be afraid to ask. I got messages from new guys. Would you help me get on the track? Give me some pointers for racing lines, qualifying lines. I will help him out, but I will never give him my pressures or
exactly
or settings.
But
so,
I know any number of the vets in this league that'll, they'll sit down. Even Johnny will tell you, well, if the car's loose, think about doing something like this.
Yeah.
If the car's really tight, think about this. That's that's without getting into any major details, but just getting a lot of the times for a lot of these drivers, I've noticed that if you give them a general direction where they need to go, you get them pointed kind of that way, they'll figure it out on their own.
Yep.
We got a lot of smart guys in this league, a lot of guys that I think are really going to be really great additions to some of the bigger series as time goes on.
Yep.
But right now, one hell of a fight for the lead. It looks like it's
definitely
more or less a 9-way battle. Silver making moves, trying to get that redemption from last week.
Well, just for example, take Silver. When he first joined us halfway in the last season, he was all over the place, and mostly in the back half of the track. But if you see what an improvement he made, that's nice to see a young rookie driver getting up to speed. Oh, they have contact. Oh no! As we speak about it, there's a big
wreck. Oh goodness, who was that? Looks like it was Wanma got collected. You had Silver, Rockabilly, Webloom,
Rebel, Rocket Boomer.
Oh man. Oh, that is just an absolute heartbreaker. Silver's going to be very upset about that one.
Yep.
Wanma had a car for a hat for a moment there, so he might be having a little trouble. But he's got Gordon coming up on him, pulling Rebel and Rocket Boomer, so they might be able to hook up and do something here. They still got time. But,
we got
as of right
Chunky, Run It, and Shadow in 1 second and third. If they run wise, they keep it in line, they can run away from the rest.
Exactly, and I'll tell you
remember,
right now, if
points are important, especially for Shadow, because he was 11th on the list. If he gets points, he should be able to get a professional next week. If he plays it smart, he's second now.
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, no matter who I am in this line, no matter where I'm sitting, whether I'm Chunky leading it, Shadow second in line, run it back, boosted, any of these guys, I'm going to be sitting there saying, hey, for right now, let's not race. Let's just line up. Let's open up that gap to flat out Wanma and Gordon. And then, once we get down to, 3 or 4 to go, then we can start thinking about racing. But for right now, let's just focus on get ourselves some breathing room so that we can do that and keep it pretty tight.
Well, boosted.
And it looks like that's exactly what they're doing.
They're running good in line.
Back.
Because that's the one thing I always remind when I was running with my first season with Jamie. Colin brought me in as his first signed driver. We always talk about risk and reward. Is it worth the risk to get the reward after a race? If you're running, that's why I always race this way. I'm aiming for a top 10. If I'm in the top 10, I'm gonna aim for a top 5. When I'm in top 5, gonna aim for a top 3. And sometimes a third place is better than trying to make it first, because some drivers will race you very hard. And in a close pack, you can run from 3rd to 12th in half a second. So.
Oh yeah, in a heartbeat. All it takes is one little thing, and sometimes it's not even the driver. Sometimes it's just a little. You'll get a little bit of net code, something weird happens, and it can absolutely ruin your race. So you're spot on there, you and Carlin. Is it worth that risk going for that extra spot of possibly going down to the bottom of the grid? But like I said, they're doing a good job right now. They've opened that gap to flat out up to about 4 seconds now.
They're running it smart, not racing each other.
All 4 of these guys have been looking pretty strong in this race and in a lot of the races that they've run. Chunky, Shadow, Run It Back has been a force to be reckoned with since day one in the LMS series, since it became a points series. Boosted's still looking for that first win as well. I think he's got it coming. So, real good top 4 here. Again, Wanma, Gordon, who's a vet and will not score here, but he's, kind of giving them some pointers, for getting around a speedway. He's no stranger to it.
And that's the thing. I think it's a good thing to add a veteran in a rookie race, like the last one you were in, racing with those guys, because you're familiar with the racing lines. And just like Shadow did, he was running for 8 to 10 laps behind Evil to see the lines he's running, and that's how you get better. Just watch the veterans race. Join them, and don't be afraid to ask for some practice with those guys. Because
exactly, and I mean, even for guys like us, how much time do you spend in the week? Say we're going to Coda this weekend for Camel GT. How much time do you spend, going back to YouTube at least once to see go back to the feeds from last year, see what sort of lines guys were using, what sort of times to look for.
Well,
the resources are certainly there.
That's the thing, because I'm in Europe, and from my team I got Rita with an hour time difference between us, so we hook up every day for some testing. Because that's the thing when you're running the American tours, like Carlin and Warren, they're in a different time schedule of us. So we do usually come together, do some testing, and we do a lot of testing, especially now I'm in second for the championship of the Indy Lights, so the last 2 days I'm just practicing the track, getting the pressures right, getting the settings right. Now we've done that, we know our data, so we move on to the next race. And for me, the thing is, in the Indy cars, I have to qualify in, So I'm practicing my qualify runs, and like Carlin and Warren and Rita, well, they already got a professional, so they don't need to test or practice the qualifying, so they can run the data for the race. And
Yep.
that's how you do it, man. If you're in the top 5 of a series and you think you have a shot for the championship, you're gonna concentrate, especially after 4 to 5 races in a season. You're gonna see in which series I've got the most chance of winning. So that's where
Exactly.
your
So like
focus
for me
gonna
at this
be.
point, I'm
Yep.
really, buckling down for Camel GT in the Cup Series. You know, 'cause
Yep. Yep.
that's really where I'm comfortable, where I'm fast. You know, IndyCar, I'm just not quite there. So I'll still go in. I'll help my team test. There's a few races that, of course, I'll come out for. You know, the Indy 500, for example. You know, a few of the oval races, that sort of thing. But for the most part, I'm going to be, backing out of that, knowing that I've got 3 other drivers that are very proficient in those cars. You know, Progar getting the win last weekend at
Yep.
Watkins Glen. So it's I'll always take one extra car on the track, but as of right now, I'm going to focus a little more on getting them faster there where they need to be faster, and getting myself faster where I need to be faster.
Yep. Yep.
But you're exactly right. Is now that we're getting 4 or 5 weeks into it, guys are going to start. You're going to see things start shaking down, and guys are going to start figuring out exactly where they want to run and what they want to do with things.
Yep. And the white flag is dropped, guys.
Yep.
It's
Last
Shadow.
lap.
Yep. Shadow is leading.
Shadow leaving.
Junkie second.
Nope.
Boosted third.
Junkie's
and
going to
Running
take that
Bank's
high line.
Yep.
Is Boosted going to try to make a move?
Oh, little
Shadow
bit of
get a
contact.
little push
Boosted
there.
going inside for
Little
second.
push. Does
It
Boosted
looks
make a
like
move to the
no.
inside, the outside, or does he
Can
push
hold it?
Shadow
He's
and take
go
the points
outside.
for
No.
second?
Oh,
Shadow's
it's
gonna
Shadow.
win it.
They win.
Atta boy.
Oh, that's
Woo,
nice.
Shadow Factory 43 with his very first win. I'm Boosted second. Looks like Chunky Beef third. Wanma fourth. Rebelus Photo fifth. Flat Out sixth. Evil OGR Gordon, who will not score seventh. Run It Back eighth. God, tough luck for him. He had a really strong car all evening. WGP Rocket Boomer ninth. Rockabilly rounding out the top 10.
What a
All
finish.
right, let's go in. Through. What
Yep.
a finish. That was incredible.
Yep. Nice win, Shadow. I've got the screenshots, Gunter.